Welcome back. It's been a busy time since I saw you last. I made this steel axe this week. It's not practical, it's just me having fun. I like the idea of making like a superhero weapon. And in case you were curious, yes, I did get blisters when I used it. I didn't wear gloves. I was trying to be a tough guy. I wanted to get the video out that day and I was working against the sun, so I did not have a chance to put leather on the handle, which is something I intended on doing. But in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't. I like the shadow. Check it out, that video's up. It's performing well. David Welder came up with the name Trusty Axe. So thanks, Dave. Dave's always good with the copywriting. This week we did the axe making class here. I had a friend come be the teacher. In preparation, I wanted to make a shave horse so that we had enough shave horses. He brought 2 and I made 1. And I made it out of scrap plywood. I'm gonna make a proper one for a video using hardwoods from the yard. This was a good one. This was fun. I'm back on the power hammer restoration. I really plan on finishing this. A lot of people ask, whatever happened to that big giant lathe that I was gonna buy about a year ago? I got the power hammer instead, and I made a promise to myself, I'm not gonna do any big restoration projects until I finish the power hammer. The power hammer was an opportunity that I got out of nowhere, so I took it. The lathe is gonna have to wait. I actually just told a friend about it, and he might buy it. So if he buys it, it's gonna be nearby. I'll get to visit it and play with it and potentially help on that. So I'll let you know. And I got a chance to print new posters this week. These posters will be available at my shop on my website, DiResta.com. Go to the shop section and you'll be able to buy these posters. We printed 200 and they're all signed and numbered. They will be available, maybe not the moment this is published, but probably in a couple of days because they're probably still in transit from here to the facility that sends them out. The new poster is the I Make Man. And I'm also going to be making more of If It Looks Straight, It Must Be Straight. If it looks straight, it is straight. That's what it is. On this new paper, I like this big new beautiful paper. So keep an eye out for that as well. So we did the axe class this week. I want to thank Taylor Forrest, my girlfriend. If she didn't push, this probably would not have happened. Taylor, thank you very much. Thank you, Derek, for coming and being the chef. And most of all, thank you, Tracy. Tracy Chevron was the teacher. I met Tracy in 2015 at the Kansas City Woodworking Show. What an incredible woodworker. This guy knows everything about grain, how to use a shave horse, how to use a spoke shave, how to use a draw knife, and most of all, how to set an axe head, how to use an axe. This guy's incredible. He's like a machine, and he turned out to be an amazing teacher. All the students loved him. I consider myself like the muse, and Tracy was the actual teacher, and I learned as much as the students this weekend. Tracy, thank you very much. Here's a little montage of the weekend. Thank you to my buddy Nick, who came out to chop up this tree that we had in the yard and to demonstrate how to use a chainsaw. And it was just an all-around great feeling. Guys, students, thank you, whoever came out. You guys were great. You guys are class number 2. So thank you all very much. Take a look.
So you see how you have these growth rings that are a quarter, give or take, quarter inch wide? That's the good stuff. Right about here, see how they start getting narrower? Yeah. That's junk. You got to avoid that. I've tried it and it's much softer. My main sharpening technique is I use a 2x48 belt sander. I'll sand it 80 to modify that rough bevel.
And do you have a vision of what shape that handle's going to be?
I don't know yet. now I'm kind of just cleaning it up, and you see how much cleaner the grain's starting to look.
A grossly oversized plug. I'm just going to toss it around and see how oversized it still is. Yeah, there you go. So, but you have like a...
We have plenty of dead trees on the property. We found a big chunk of this mulberry tree. Tracy took it and showed the group how to make a bowl. We had a little fun while we were here. Tracy has a spoon scoop. So he prepped up 2 spoons for he and I to have a showdown on the bandsaw, and he beat me. We got this mulberry tree from the yard. Tracy prepared him.
There are 2 ends of the same piece, something like that? Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
All right.
And now we're going to do a side-by-side bandsaw race to the finish. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Step away from the bandsaws.
I won.
That's cute, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Let's see those. Tracy, thank you so much. Taylor, thank you so much. Derek, Brett, students, everybody, thank you for making this happen. It was such a great event. Looking forward to the next one. just entered Colorado and we're driving through a little town called Bedrock. We hadn't seen another car for hours. It was about midnight. Didn't have a lot of gas, didn't know where the next gas station was, had no cell service, didn't know what was next. We just kept driving through the night. We drove past this little store and Taylor said, oh, let's stop. I want to take a picture of the front of this place. Taylor ran up to the porch and then within minutes, somebody pulled up next to me and said, what are you doing?
My name is Anthony Pisano and we own this Bedrock Store, my wife and I. We live right over there. We're not far from here. We're on the piece of property that we purchased 5.5 years ago, something like that. And the tail lights, the red lights, oh my God. I go, who's by our store? Oh my God, because we just got a liquor delivery.
Right.
And I don't know if anything, you know, someone's over there, let's go see. And I'm, you know, I roll up on people, I don't care. You know?
Sure.
Yeah, it's my property. So now, boom, come up and I say, hey, what's going on? And I see someone cutting out of the car and they were going up to the window and looking inside and they're taking pictures and someone was in the passenger seat I pulled up on and they were right there. They had a dog in the car. There was a dog in the car. It seemed like it was, oh my God. Rah! So I'm saying, what's going on? And then all of a sudden they hear a Brooklyn accent, a New York accent. I go, oh, you're from New York.
My bad.
And then it's just another world.
Right.
I'm in another world and then it's the same world or in another world. Right. I look at it like this, the creator, everything's from the creator. And here's 4 knuckleheads, and me and my wife are 2 of them. Right. And then we meet at one part of the planet. It's the Bedrock Store. It was built in 1881, way back when this was a real wild, wild west. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, look at it now. Look at all the buildup. You got an original Texaco gas sign.
And it's considered the longest running general store in the state of Colorado since 1885.
Wow.
It's had its books open all those times. We stepped into history. We're part of it now.
Yeah, right.
You know, the building has its own energy, its own entity, you know, it has its own life. It was here when there was nothing was here. I'm preserving an older building.
Right.
So that people are enjoying it, and those craftsmen, I appreciate them for the work that they did. These are just rocks. I find rocks, man, and I just put them together and I just make faces. You have one. Yeah. And I hope you enjoy it because that's a very popular one. I gotta laugh. Everybody sees that right away, which is wonderful. This is like a window jamb that I broke out, and when I was putting in a new window, these are the pieces that fell off. There's a ponderosa pine. They're abstractions. Like art.
To me, it looks like you're creating some sort of abstract landscape.
Yeah, though this is my first one, so this is the original one.
There's a guy.
That's stupid. Yeah. But these are pure without anything else. Mm-hmm. So these are, and then this just works every way. You know, I was told that a piece of art should work in every direction. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wild. I can't even believe I did that.
How long ago did you do that?
Very
We ended up spending the night with Anthony and Sarah. What a great, wonderful couple. We felt like we were right at home because they were New Yorkers. We're New Yorkers. We had such a wonderful time hanging out with these guys. And Anthony is a true artist. And he was showing me the pieces of wood he found and what it meant to him. And he showed me some of his illustrations. He makes these formations in rocks, and he gave me one. The one he gave me was Robert De Niro. If you notice, you take a look at it, you'll see that it's Robert De Niro. It's got the mole. I hadn't had such a hard laugh as I did that night when he showed me that and said, this is Robert De Niro made out of rocks. What a sweet guy, what a great couple, and thank you to them for putting us up for the night, giving us gas, making us coffee in the middle of nowhere. Really the highlight of our trip, hanging out with these guys. In the middle of nowhere, you meet a couple of New Yorkers, transplanted artists. It's a wonderful trip, and meeting them was a big part of it. This is just a little bit of a teaser of what I bought today. This is a 1930 Chandler & Price 11 by 15 printing press. I got the sickness, what can I say? But this is such a beautiful machine. Wait till you see it moving up close. It's so beautiful. Thank you. See you next week.